All right, so in this video we're going to get into the backbone of door-to-door marketing. So first we want to look at target areas. So where do you want to be going door-to-door? So what we're really looking for, like our ideal customer, is someone who lives in a nice home in a nice neighborhood where there's nice vehicles and they take care of their lawns and they take care of their homes. All right, so we're looking for houses that are like 250,000, 400,000, kind of in that range. We don't want to go to $1 million homes. Oftentimes those houses are spread apart more. They're just not, that's not really the target market. We want to look for houses in neighborhoods that were built about 10 years ago. So we want stuff that's 10 years old. We want stuff that is kind of like cookie cutter homes. So we want houses where it's a big subdivision and many of the houses look the same. We want nice lawns. We want nice cars, because that means there's people who have money and they take care of their property. Like, that's important. So this is about what we're looking for. A good place to do it is I just jump on, one way to do this is I jump on Google Maps and I just drop a pin and I drop like my little guy onto the street view next to golf courses, country clubs, next to lakes, and that kind of thing. And you just look around and look at the houses. Are the lawns taken care of? Are there nice cars? If the neighborhood is built within the last like 6 or 7 years, many of the houses don't need painting yet. And if they're built more than 25 years ago, that's really not our target market either. You don't want to go knocking in neighborhoods that are Victorian and deal with lead-based paint and all that kind of stuff. We want to aim for these, middle to upper income, nice homes. And so one thing I do is, just to find all my neighborhoods, is I'll print off a map from Google or from MapQuest or something, and I'll just print off the map of my whole area, and I'll literally drive up and down the streets. I'll just drive up and down the entire map, and I'll put X's where there's good neighborhoods, and I'll kind of cross off where there's bad neighborhoods. What defines a bad neighborhood is if they have broken down cars in the driveway, or the lawns aren't taken care of, or the houses are really old, or the houses are really new, or if you get into a neighborhood and every single house needs painting, that's not a good thing. That means nobody cares. Okay, so we're not looking for neighborhoods that are falling apart. We're looking for, 1 out of 5 houses. There's fading paint on the darker colored homes, right? The houses are faded. There's peeling trim on the bottom of the garage trim and on the windows. These are the kind of neighborhoods we're looking for. So you drive through your whole area and just mark all your neighborhoods. And then you go back through and you print out maps. Okay, you've got to have maps when you go door-to-door marketing, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to start right here in the neighborhood and then work your way through the whole neighborhood and end up over here and have to walk 30 minutes back to your vehicle. You want to make sure you map out a good route where you do this and you do this and you end up very close back to your vehicle so that you're efficient. Okay, so you want to make sure you have maps and routes, and that's even more important once you have people going with you or you're sending people out. You want to make ssure people are efficiently going through neighborhoods, they know where to go. You want to make sure you always have one person on each side of the street. You don't want 2 people on the same side leapfrogging each other, because then they have to walk twice as far to get to every house. Which leads me to this next point right here, which is speed. Actually, we'll come to that in a minute. So you want to have maps and routes. So find your target areas, drive around, pick them out, find your map, print out your maps, make your routes so you know exactly. And then once you do this one time, laminate them or save these pieces of paper. Don't keep doing this again and again and again. And that way, once you've gone through your whole area and you've found like 30 different neighborhoods, that's fine. We go through neighborhoods like every 5 weeks, because what you're going to find is that only about 30% of people are going to be home and answer the door. And there's different cycles of buying in the painting business. There's people in January who want estimates, but those are the people who are ahead of the game. They're ahead of the curve. They're very on top of their game. And then there's people in like April, right? In that time range when everyone's painting and they see all their neighbors painting. That's like when everybody's doing it. And then there's the people at the end of the summer who are like the procrastinators who've been putting it off and putting it off. So you might go to someone's house in January and they say no. Or maybe, the wife answered the door and she's not thinking about painting, but maybe the husband was. And the next time you hit the house, the husband answers. So when you take all these factors into account, you go through a neighborhood, 30% of people are home, and of the 30% you talk to, a lot of those houses are actually going to paint. But maybe you talk to the husband, or maybe they're waiting till later, or maybe you caught them on a bad day and they didn't even listen to you. It doesn't matter. So you can go back through neighborhoods 5 or 6 times, or every 5 or 6 weeks, and that's totally fine to do. And so that's something we do. And so you want to make sure you save these routes, because once you have 20 or 30 neighborhoods, you've got all the neighborhoods you ever really need. for door-to-door marketing. And then once you're getting so many leads that you actually need to expand, you can go and find more neighborhoods and neighboring cities and towns. So the two materials you're really going to need, you're going to need your maps, and then you're going to need flyers and lead sheets, and we'll go ahead and attach those below. Basically, the flyer is just a really basic flyer. The only purpose of the flyer is so you have something to hand them and engage them. That's the main purpose of the flyer. So I wouldn't encourage spending a ton of money. We use these really basic, really ghetto flyers. I have a friend who's made really beautiful, expensive color flyers, and then really basic black and white ghetto flyers, and the ghetto ones outperform the nice ones. Don't ask me why. But that's why you should test and track everything. So the flyer that we're going to provide is really basic, really simple, nothing special to it. So you can make the flyers, and then the lead sheet is just, you could just use a piece of paper too, but this is just, the information that we want to gather from a customer: name, address, phone number, if what they want to get painted, if they're changing colors, what problems they've noticed, and if they're painting this year. So we just want to gather some of that information. Like the best time to call, I think, is on there as well. So this is going to be the pitch, all right? And this is really important, okay? So before I get into the pitch, there's two things that lead to results, all right? So the first is how many houses you hit. So if you have one door-to-door marketer who goes out and hits 40 houses in 1 hour, and then the next hour that door-to-door marketer hits 80 houses, which time is he gonna get more leads? The 40 houses or the 80 houses? Obviously he's gonna get more leads if he hits 80 houses than 40. And so you want to make sure people are moving quickly. That's why we talk about making the maps, making the routes, not leapfrogging each other, so that we can hit the most amount of houses per hour. Because there's, if there's 300 houses in here, there's 6 leads. So if you hit those 300 houses in 30 minutes or you hit them in 6 hours, there's still 6 leads. So you got to get those 6 leads. The second thing that you can change is not just the number of houses and your speed through a neighborhood, but you can make a better pitch. All right, because if you talk to 20 people, a good marketer can get 8 leads, and a bad marketer can get 2, right? So we want to get as many houses as we can and make our pitch as good as we possibly can. So a couple things to improve speed. One recommendation is don't skip houses. Just because the house looks good, don't skip it. It's a slippery slope. When you stop skipping just the good-looking houses, all of a sudden you start skipping these ones, and then you start skipping more and more, and it's a slippery slope, and then all of a sudden you're only hitting 6 doors an hour and people stop getting leads. It's one of the biggest mistakes I see people run into, and our marketers run into, is when they start skipping houses, they stop getting leads. Even if the houses, they're like, yeah, but I'm just not going to the ones that look like they need painting. It's a slippery slope. Just go to every house. I still do it to this day. When I go marketing, I go to every single house. Even though I've got an eye for it, I still go to every single house. And then the other thing about speed is don't wait that long at doors. Like if the porch lights are on, the newspaper's in the driveway, and all the lights are off inside, ring that doorbell, and if you don't hear anyone coming to the door, start leaving. If they walk out, you can turn around and say, oh, hey, I'm sorry, and run back and do your pitch. All right, but don't wait at doors too long. Don't run through people's yards, but don't walk and mosey through the neighborhood. Get to it, hustle, make it happen. The more leads you get per hour, the more results you get. You're gonna be out there either way. You might as well improve your results. And then when you're running a door-to-door marketing team, you want them going fast because they get more leads per hour, they make more money per hour, they stick with you longer, they make more money, they're happier. All around it's better. So you got to make sure you move. When I go run marketing sessions, I go and hustle. So the best times to go marketing, because it's not on here, the best times are Monday to Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m. and then Saturday morning from 9 to 12 and Sunday from 4 to 7 or 5 to 8. And I usually try to send people out in 3-hour increments. If you send someone out for 6 hours, which we do in the winter, when we can't go in the evenings, we do go all day Saturday, Sunday. But when you send people out longer, they naturally move slower. They get a little bit demotivated. You can only carry on door-to-door marketing for so long before your energy starts to die and your results start to suffer from it. So I typically recommend 2.5-hour to 3-hour sessions where you go and you hit it hard. And if you don't want to go for a set amount of time, you can just say, this is how many doors we're going to hit, and tally how many doors you hit. Sometimes I would say, hey, I need this many leads, I'm going to go hit 120 doors. And that would motivate me to get those 120 doors hit as quick as I could. So now the most important thing here is the pitch. All right, this is absolutely the most important thing. And I can't say it strongly enough how important it is that you do this pitch exactly the way it's designed here. So there's 4 parts to the pitch. 4. There's only 4 things you have to remember. First, hey, how's it going? So you want to be friendly. You don't say, hello, sir, how are you today? Because you would never say that to a friend. You want to say this like they're your friend, like you're the next door neighbor, like you're just checking in. Hey, how's it going? And at the same time as I say, hey, how's it going? We hand them a flyer. So it's just like, hey, how's it going? I'm going to grab my piece of paper here. Okay. Oops, sorry. All right, so the first part of the pitch, hey, how's it going? And we hand a flyer. And that'll force them to open the door, and it also gets them out of their head and engages with you. And that's really important that you engage them, because you don't have a lot of time at the door. When someone comes to your door, just think about it. When someone comes to your door, what's the first word on your mind? Yes or no? It's a no. You're already a no. Right when you see someone at your door, you're like, what do you want? What is this? I don't want it. Whatever you're selling, I don't want it. That's the automatic response. So we need to first engage them to get them out of their head so they listen to us. And then we need to get straight to the pitch. Okay, we need to get right to it. No wasting time, no screwing around. This is as concise as it can be. So, hey, how's it going? And then you let them respond. Hey, how's it going? They say good. I'm like, good. And then we say this. I'm Eric with Foothills Painting. Hey, how's it going? I'm Eric. I'm with Foothills Painting. And I noticed you had some problem on your house. So this could be peeling, cracking, or fading. So I noticed you had some peeling up here on your trim. Or I noticed you had some peeling on your house. But I like to specify, instead of house, I like to specify the area. So I noticed you had some fading up here on the house. Or hey, I noticed you had some fading on your garage. Hey, I noticed you had some cracking up around that window. Hey, I noticed you had some peeling paint around the garage. And then number 4. So, and let me back up. When I say I noticed you had some peeling on your trim, I point to it. Even though they can't see it. Now, I can't even see it. I'm up in their entryway, and I'm talking to you, and I say, hey, how's it going? I'm Eric. I'm with Foothills Painting. I noticed you had some peeling trim out here around your garage. And I'm pointing to it. Pointing to it makes it real. And sometimes I'll say, yeah, and I noticed you just had some peeling paint up here. And sometimes the customer will even literally look at their patio cover. It makes it real. When you say, hey, I noticed you had some peeling paint up here. So I just want to give you a free estimate. And you'll notice here, pen to paper. So I'm going to put this all together. And the so is important. The so is important because it's like, hey, I noticed you had some peeling paint, so that, that's why, because I noticed you had some peeling paint, that's why I want to give you a free estimate. I noticed you had some peeling paint on your trim, so I just want to give you a free estimate. So it goes, hey, how's it going? Good, good. I'm Eric, I'm with Foothills Painting. I noticed you had some peeling paint up here, so I just want to give you a free estimate. And it goes like that. So, right, I just want to give you a free estimate, and it's natural. Like, yeah, I'm just signing you up. Yeah, I'm just going through the neighborhood, signing people up. Yeah, I noticed you had some peeling paint up here, so I just want to give you a free estimate. So what's your name? And it's assumptive, okay? So it's, and most of the time when I'm going door-to-door marketing, I'm training my marketers and they get their pitch down. The most common response I get from customers is, okay. They don't say, yes, I'd love a free estimate. They say, okay. And I say, great. So what's your name? Cool, Bob. Nice to meet you. I'm Eric. And what's the best phone number to reach you at, Bob? Okay, cool. Yeah, because I'm not doing the estimate right now. Just wanted to grab your info, and I'll give you a call a little later so we can schedule a time to do that. So what's the best number to reach you at? You said da-da-da-da. Okay. And what's the best time to call? Is that like a cell or a work phone? Okay, great. So like daytime? Okay. And what's your guys' address here? I think it's 609. What's the street again? Okay, it's Ridgeway Core. Okay. Great. So have you guys been thinking about painting, or? Oh, you have. Good. Cool. What were you guys looking at doing? Okay. You want to get the whole house done? Okay. And when were you guys already thinking about when you wanted to do that? Just sometime in the summer? Okay, perfect. Had you guys noticed, besides the peeling out here on the garage trim, had you noticed anything else around the house? Okay. Okay, cool. So a little bit on the back. Okay, great. And then would you guys want a bit, if you're doing the whole house, are you guys interested in changing the colors? Okay. Okay, cool. And okay, great, Bob. Well, it was really nice to meet you. Here's my flyer, like I gave you. You've got your website down there. That's my phone number on the flyer if you need to call me for anything. But I'll be giving you a call either later tonight or tomorrow during the day. And we'll go ahead and set up a time for an estimate. And I can come out and we'll walk around the house and I can get you a bunch of different options and everything like that. And we can kind of go from there. So that sound good? Okay, hey, it was good to meet you, Bob. You have a great rest of your night. And I look forward to talking with you soon. And I'm on to the next house. Okay, so I wanted to go through all that other stuff because all those other questions and how you interact after you get them to say okay is where the lead develops. If you say, okay, what's your name? What's your number? Okay, thanks, bye, and you leave, it doesn't develop the lead. It doesn't forward them. It doesn't get them thinking seriously about painting. When I ask Bob, hey, so you guys been thinking about painting? He's like, yeah, we've been thinking about painting. Yeah, we want to do the whole house. Yeah, we noticed this problem out back, and yeah, we want to change colors. And yeah, we want to do it sometime in the summer. He just by saying that, he got more committed to painting, just by saying that. And so it's really important that you actually go through all those questions once you get the lead. Now let's step back to the pitch and the speed, just not the speed, just the pitch. All right, so I want to walk through some of the most important, just some of the most important things here. So, hey, how's it going? So you just want to be really friendly, like, hey, how's it going? And you hand them the flyer. You notice my timing. You don't want to say, hey, how's it going? And then hand the flyers. Hey, how's it going, Bob? I guess I don't know his name. It's Bob. Hey, how's it going? And you let them respond. That's got to happen. You hand the flyer at the same time. Hey, how's it going? And you hand that flyer out. I'm Eric. I'm with Foothills Painting. So you got to introduce yourself. You know, I'm Stetson with Great Plains Painting. I'm Eric with Foothills Painting. So they know your name and you're with a painting company. I noticed you had some problem on your house. I noticed you had some peeling on your trim. I noticed you had some fading up on the house. I noticed you had some cracking around the window. So I just want to give you a free estimate. So I just want to give you a free estimate. So I just want to give you a free estimate. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm doing the wrong gesture there. So I just want to give you a free estimate. And you want to get that timing down. Perfect. So you always hand the flyer. You always say, I noticed some peeling up here, so I just want to give you a free estimate. Hey, how's it going? I'm Eric. I'm with Foothills Painting. I noticed you had some peeling up here in the trim, so I just want to give you a free estimate. And then you do this I thing, right? Where you're like, I just want to give you a free estimate. So ready when you are, bud. And you're that assumptive about it. Now, this pitch, people have a tendency to change this. Do not change it. Every time when our marketing team goes out and they do this pitch perfect, when they do it perfect, they get leads. They have a lot of success. But when people start changing the pitch up, the results go down. Look, I've been doing this for over 10 years. Like, trust me, I've tried it all. I've tried a million things. I've tried, hey, how's it going? Hey, I'm just going through the neighborhood. Just wondering if you guys are thinking about doing any painting this year, if you'd be interested in an estimate. And look, almost anything will work if you're good at it. But this works, okay? Like one time I had this girl, Mary, who was working for us, and she was going door to door. And she's great. Everything was great. And she went out in her first 2 hours, she got one lead. She got one lead in her first 2 hours. And I went through her pitch, and she's doing everything perfect. She goes, hey, how's it going? I'm Mary. I'm with Foothills Painting. I noticed you had some peeling paint up here, so I just want to give you a free estimate. And I said, Mary, your timing is off. Your timing is off with that pen to paper. It's awkward. It's not natural. So we worked on her timing, and I had her do this about 20 times. So I just want to give you a free estimate. So I just want to give you a free estimate. So I just want to give you a free estimate. So I just want to give you a free estimate. And I had her do it about 20 times until she had it perfect. Until I wanted to say yes to her. Until I wanted to say okay. I'm like, oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, okay, sure. That's the response you want to get. Is like, okay, sure. Like we almost catch them off guard. We get to it so fast. And that the rest of the day, Mary went marketing for another 4 hours that day, and she got 15 leads in the next 4 hours. So the little things make a difference. So you want to master this pitch. All right, so I'm going to do it one more time for you, and do this in the mirror. Do it with someone else until you have it perfect. So knock, knock, knock. You come to the door. Hey, how's it going? I'm Eric. I'm with Foothills Painting. I noticed you had some peeling paint up here, so I just want to give you a free estimate. And that's it. That's your pitch. And then you go through all the questions, be friendly, develop the lead, and you can review this video a million times over. And you can have your marketers review this video. And you can review this video again and again and again. And if you go out marketing and you didn't get results, it can only be a few things. Either you're not in a good neighborhood, either you didn't go fast enough, or your pitch was off. It can only be one of those three things. Now, I will tell you this. One of the biggest things that people run into is they start blaming circumstances. Here's some of the big excuses I hear. Nobody was home. We've already been through that neighborhood. None of the houses need painting. And most of the time, it's bullshit. Because I can get at least a lead an hour in almost any neighborhood, anytime, all the time. So you just want to make sure not to chalk it up to an excuse too quickly. You want to look at yourself, like, are you doing this pitch perfect? And you can review this video again to know if you're doing it perfect. Are you hitting enough houses? And have you found your target neighborhood? And if you don't really know what a target neighborhood is yet, just keep trying, keep going. Look, even if it takes you 2 hours to get a lead, it's worth it. If it takes you 20 hours to go get 10 leads, and you set up 7 estimates from those 10 leads, and you book 2 jobs, right? So we go out, we go marketing 20 hours, we get 10 leads, we do 7 estimates, we book 2 jobs for $2,500, and we book $5,000 in sales, and we pay our subcontractor $3,000 to do it, and we overpay. We make $2,000 on that, okay? This is 20 hours. This is gonna take you 15 hours. Producing the job is going to take you like another 15 hours. So we're looking at 30, 50 hours to make $2,000. You're making 40 bucks an hour. Just get after it. On the flip side, if you're anything like me and you go out and kill it, and there's a lot of people who have taken my course and gone out and killed it. But my first week starting this business, I went out for 6 hours. I got 11 leads. I set up 6 estimates, and I booked 5 jobs for about $8,000. I ended up making around $4,000, a little more than that because I painted 3 of the jobs myself. And I made $4 grand in the first month. And I didn't have to spend any money except for tiny startup costs for insurance, registering the business, and then my flyers, my lead sheets, and my contracts. All right, so that's the pitch for door-to-door. Review this. We're going to get into training your marketers, but training your marketers is as simple as going through what I just went through. This is the pitch. You got to go fast, and you got to do the pitch. And here's the pitch. That's it. Just master this pitch. The only way to master the pitch is practicing it until you want to say yes. And when you're training, well, we'll get into training in the next video, but when you're training, you have to just be relentless about it being perfect until you want to say yes. There's got to be good energy. They got to be positive. They got to be friendly. All right, you can't come up to the door and go, "Hey, how's it going? I'm Eric. I'm with Foothills Painting. I noticed you had peeling paint on your garage, so I just want to set you up for a free estimate." You're not going to get nearly as good results. You got to bring the energy, fake it till you make it, and support your team in doing the same. And the best way you can support your team is to go lead by example. We always go lead by example. That first marketing session's got to kick ass. You got to be running, hustling, hitting doors, super positive. And if you stay that way for an entire hour, I guarantee you get leads. So that's a quick overview of the pitch and the plan and how to get it going. Review this video if you need to, take notes if you need to, and I'll provide some materials down below about the things that we covered. So in the next couple of videos, we'll start talking about how to bring on a team and bring people out and train other people to do this with you. And then once we get through door-to-door, there's some other marketing avenues that we'll talk about as well.